All right, thank you guys. Happy Sunday to you. Hopefully, you're having a great weekend thus far. My name is Brock Page, and I do random sports picks for free right here on YouTube. And with that, let's go ahead and dive into some NCAA men's college basketball action. And we're going to start with Rhode Island squaring off against San Francisco, and that's going to be a 5:30 p.m. Eastern tip-off at the Mohegan Sun Arena. Now, Rhode Island's the 1-point favorite with the total at 145.5. We're 4-0 in our last four daily best plays on patreon.com/BrockPage. And access to the daily best play costs just $1.99. Now, if you have no idea what I'm talking about right now, I'm going to explain a little bit more about it in just a few moments. We also won our last four straight extra daily picks on that site as well. And access to the extra daily pick costs just $2.99. So needless to say, we are red hot on Patreon right now. We have over 775 members signed up and active on that site. And if you want to join those folks and get in on the action, link for that site is in the description section below. And once again, that's patreon.com/BrockPage. Now, Rhode Island is just 1-2 straight up on the season. They actually failed to cover the point spread in 2 out of those 3 ball games. The Rams' leading scorer, is Fats Russell, who's shooting just 37% from the field and just 16% from downtown. Russell's just 3 of 18 shooting the 3 ball. Now, they are taking on a San Francisco team who's won their last 2 straight themselves. They kind of shocked the world yesterday as they upset the Virginia Cavaliers by the final of 61-60. Now, the Dons, they were, what were they? They were the heavy underdogs in that one. I think it was, 15 points, 16 points? But anyway, the San Francisco Dons have also successfully covered the point spread in their last 2 straight as well. Senior guard Jamari Bouye is scoring 18 points per contest along with 3 boards and 5 assists. Bouye shooting over 54% from the field, and he's averaging 2 steals a game. Now, Khalil Shabazz is also scoring 17 points a night, along with 3 rebounds himself. Shabazz is a perfect 9 for 9 from the free throw line. Meanwhile, 6'9" forward Dimitri Rayuni is averaging 5 rebounds a game as well, and he's also averaging 10 points a game and a block. And when it comes to the total in this one, the Dons did see their second game of the season with Towson fly over the posted number for that game. Meanwhile, Rhode Island, on their side of things, they saw 2 out of their last 3 get over the line themselves. So we're going to go ahead and start off the show here with a slight underdog. Give me the underdog San Francisco Dons +1 and the over 145.5 in that game. Before we go ahead and move on, just want to take another quick timeout and welcome you to the video. Got some lines and personal out for college basketball and men's college basketball, that is. But before we go ahead and dive into some more free content right here on YouTube, just got to quickly remind you guys that we are red hot on my Patreon website right now. We're 4-0 at our last 4 daily best plays on patreon.com/BrockPage. And if you want to access our daily best play, it's only going to cost you just $1.99. We also went 4-0 in our last 4 extra daily picks on that site as well. And if you want to access today's extra daily pick, that's only going to cost you just $2.99. Now, you might be wondering, why would you sign up for picks on Patreon and pay for them when you can just get them for free right here on YouTube? And that's certainly a great thought, a great consideration. If I was in your shoes right now watching me, I'd probably think the same thing. But it's very, very different. And the reason for that is this. If you were to go out there and bet every single game that's on the board, side and total, like I do with my breakdowns here on YouTube, it's certainly not a winning formula for success. And as a matter of fact, it's a recipe for disaster. You can't go out there betting every single game on the board, side and total. Now, I do that here on YouTube. I'm providing entertainment. I'm providing content. But I certainly don't bet that way. And the reason for that is the books are way too smart. They're way too sharp with the numbers. The odds become massively more against you the more and more games you play like that. And to be honest with you guys, the bookies just have so much more money than you and I do combined to be able to absorb that type of action. When you bet every game, you're no threat to them, but they're certainly a threat to your bankroll. So what I do on Patreon is I make life a lot easier for you. I break it down and focus in on just 3 to 4 premium selections per day, sometimes a little bit more, sometimes a little bit less, but they're my personal plays, games that I personally have action on. And I'll tell you this much, I'm having a lot more success betting on games that way versus wagering on every single contest on the slate, side, and total. Now, we do currently have over 775 members signed up and active on that site. It's a really popular website. A lot of folks are on there. And if you want to join those folks and get in on the action, link for that site is in the description section below. And once again, that's patreon.com/BrockPage. And moving on, we're going to take a look at Texas Tech squaring off against Houston. This should be a good matchup here. It's going to be a 5:30 p.m. Eastern start time at the Dickies Arena. Now, Texas Tech is the 3-point favorite with the total at 136.5. We did see a little bit of movement toward Texas Tech and the under in this one. The Red Raiders open 2.5 up to 3. Total open 137 down to 136.5. Now, the Red Raiders are the $1.50 favorite on the money line. Texas Tech has yet to be challenged this season, despite being 2-0. They did play the likes of Sam Houston State and Northwestern State, so really tough to kind of get a gauge as to how good or bad they are. They're taking on a Houston squad who beat Boise State by double digits in their most recent outing yesterday. They also beat Lamar College by 44 points in the season opener before that. Marcus Sasser is scoring 18 points a game along with a couple assists and 2 steals. Sasser is shooting 57% from the field, as well as going 56% from beyond the arc. Sasser's going 9 for 16 from downtown already. Meanwhile, junior guard Quentin Grimes is also scoring 17 a game, along with 8 rebounds and a couple assists. The 6'5" guard is 6 for 7 from the stripe. Meanwhile, freshman guard Traymon Mark is scoring 16 points per contest, along with 5 rebounds and a couple assists himself. Mark is shooting 50% from the field, and he's also shooting nearly 83% from the foul line. Now, Houston has successfully covered the point spread. They actually did cover the point spread in their season opener against Lamar. They were laying 23 points in that one, and once again took care of Lamar. They crushed them by 44. Now, total-wise, when it comes to the number in this one, Houston's 2-0 to the under thus far in the season. Meanwhile, the Texas Tech Red Raiders on the other side of things, they saw their game on Friday against Sam Houston State stay under the line themselves. So with all that said and done, I'm going to lean toward yet another underdog in this one. Give me the underdog Houston Cougars +3 and the under 136.5 in that ball game. All right, next matchup, it is going to be Oakland versus Michigan, 6 p.m. Eastern start time at the Chrysler Center. The Michigan Wolverines are the 30-point favorite, totals 149. We did see heavy money on Michigan and the under in this one. It was a 2.5-point move toward the Wolverines and a 1.5-point move downward on the total. So once again, Michigan opened 27.5 up to 30. Total open 150 and a hook down to 149. Now, Oakland's winless on the season thus far, 0-3 straight up to start the 2020 campaign. Just 1-2 against the spread in those ball games. And as a matter of fact, the only game Oakland covered, it was a 14-point loss to Bradley, and they were catching 15 points and barely got the job done in that one. But needless to say, in that lone cover, they did get beat pretty badly. Now, the Grizzlies' leading scorer is Jalen Moore, and he's shooting just 34% from the field and only 60% from the stripe. Moore's also just 3 for 11 from downtown. Sophomore guard Blake Lampman is also scoring just 8 points a night and shooting a pitiful 19% from the field himself. Lampman's hit just 6 of 31 from the field, and he's connected on just 5 out of his last 27 three-point attempts. And finally, junior forward Daniel Oladapo has yet to have an assist on the season through 3 games. Oladapo scoring just 7 points a game and shooting just 53% from the line. Now, they are taking on a very strong Michigan team who put up 96 on Bowling Green in their season opener. They successfully covered a 13.5-point spread in that ball game. And of course, got to mention the efforts of Shawnee Brown, who scored 19 points in that ball game, 4 rebounds and 3 assists for the senior. Now, Shawnee connected on 6 of 8 from the field and shot 71% from downtown. Shawnee also had a block in that ball game. Isaiah Livers scored 17 points himself, 9 rebounds, 3 assists, and a steal for the 6'7" junior. Livers went 7 of 14 from the field, and he hit a trio of 3-pointers as well. And, of course, senior guard Mike Smooth. I wrote it down as Mike Smooth. I know it's not Mike Smooth. Damn autocorrect. But anyway, he had 16 points and led the team. Mike Smith, excuse me. He led the team he's leading the team in assists with 8 of them. Smith was 4 of 6 from the field and 7 of 8 from the stripe. Now, total-wise, Michigan saw that contest with Bowling Green fly 30 points above the posted number for that ball game. Meanwhile, 2 out of Oakland's last 3 got over the line themselves. So give me the heavily favored Michigan Wolverines, minus 30, and the over 149. And with that, we're going to dive into our next and final matchup. It is going to be Virginia Tech, South Florida, 8 p.m. Eastern start time. And once again, that is at the Mohegan Sun Arena. Now, the Virginia Tech Hokies are minus 8, with the total at 131. Now, we saw line movement toward the Hokies and the under in this one. It was a half-a-point move toward Virginia Tech and the under. So once again, the Hokies opened 7.5 up to 8. Total open 131.5 down to 131 even. The Hokies are minus 420 for an outright win. Virginia Tech shocked the Villanova Wildcats yesterday. That was an 81-73 victory in that contest. The Hokies were actually catching double digits in that ball game and got the job done outright. Now, Virginia Tech also took care of Radford in the season opener there, holding them to just 62 total points. Junior forward Keeve Aluma is scoring 21 points a night along with 6 boards and a couple assists. Aluma shooting 67% from the field and is 4 of 6 from downtown. Naheem Alani is also scoring 17 points a game along with a couple assists. Alani is a perfect 6 for 6 from the stripe and is shooting 55% from the field himself. Alani's also dropped 6 of 10 from beyond the arc. And of course, sophomore Tyrese Radford's currently leading the Hokies with 8 rebounds a night along with 5 assists as well. The Hokies are averaging nearly 80 points a game through 2 ball games. Now they're taking on a South Florida program who lost their season opener to Rhode Island yesterday. And believe it or not, several books out there actually had them as the 1-point favorite in that one. So certainly a tough loss for the battling Bulls. They did give up 84 points to the Rams, and obviously they failed to get the job done against the point spread in that ball game. Now, the Bulls did see that contest get nearly 15 points above the posted number for that game. Meanwhile, on the other side of things, Virginia Tech's currently 2-0 to the over on the season themselves. So with all that said and done, I'm going to lean toward the Virginia Tech Hokies minus 8 in the over 131 in that contest. And with that, guys, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on Patreon. If you guys decide to get a package here today, just keep in mind we'll bill you the day you sign up and then the first of every month following that. Most importantly, guys, got to thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. Really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. And with that said, happy Sunday to you. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage.